And I thought it was really interesting that Bitcoin crashed, but gold stayed strong and even maybe went up a little bit. So, it kind of has me second thinking, you know, is this whole Bitcoin is digital gold thing like legit if people seem to pull out when the markets go south, like stock market goes south? But one thing I'm asking myself with things like gold, it's like it's at an all-time high relative to what, right? Like we might be able to say from the perspective of the United States that inflation has gone down, which I'm like pretty skeptical about, right? And like as I learn more about these concepts, that there's so many more factors that go into inflation besides, um, interest rates, right? Like talks about like I was listening to Jim Rickards talk about the velocity of money and how that factors in, how deficit spending factors into inflation. But besides inflation, right? Like, I think it's safe to say, as of late, probably last couple years, the dollar's global prestige is going down, right? Like, in terms of, in the world on the global stage, you know what I'm saying? Um, like, there's a lot of folks kind of skeptical, I think, of American hegemony right now. Like, there's at least a big subset of the world that is skeptical of that. Like, I think that's not political. I think that's not necessarily like arguable. I think people would agree to some extent there, right? So, gold being over $4,000 an ounce, so one thing you got to ask yourself is like, am I tripping about the nominal value in relation to like its previous nominal value? Or do I have like a more compelling thesis as to why I believe that gold is overpriced today? You know what I'm saying? Because like if I were gonna say, look, dude, I'm staying out like too much for me, which is a reasonable thing to say, I would want like a bigger like hypothesis as to why it's too expensive. You know what I'm saying?